Sarah. Please meet me at the duck pond after dinner. James Leeds. How many people did you tell about our going over the wall? Not many? Orrin was very upset. Orrin thinks he's the leader of you deaf children just because he speaks and is an apprentice instructor. He wants to lead in a revolution against the hearing world, and he thinks that all you deaf children can hardly wait to follow him. When his revolution begins, he can have all my Indian headbands and wire-rimmed glasses. I think it's funny to want to do something for our people. No, I don't know what it's like to live in an institution run by people who don't understand me. Why don't you go on the revolution with Orrin? Right. The bread is not stale. I felt good, so I brought fresh bread. Why did I feel good? Because I missed you. Don't say that. I've been looking all over for you. I even ate lunch in the cafeteria thinking I'd see you. You ate lunch in the kitchen so you wouldn't see me. Well, I didn't see you. You know, I hate to say this, but you're the most mysterious, attractive, angry person I have ever met. Why did I miss you? Why do people miss each other? Oh, Lydia, that's okay, Lydia. It was a bit rough, wasn't it? Would that be so terrible if she became dependent on me? Would that be so terrible? She's not going to fall in love with me. You know, all students don't automatically... Wait a minute. That was quite a little leap you just made there. From trying to help someone learn something, to dependency because of it, to falling in love as a result of the dependency. That's all very nice, but it happens to be bullshit. Do you have a sign for bullshit? Well, what do you say for that? I'm trying to con everybody? No, not everybody, only you. Wait, am I going to invent a new sign here? Deaf bullshit. You're leaving? Fine, take your deaf bullshit and go. It's always worked before. I usually kiss the girl, and that makes everything better. Sarah! Sarah!
Yelling at the back of a deaf person. That's very good, Mr. Leeds. Problems?
Just trying out a new technique.
What's it called? Rape? Mr. Leeds, what are you doing here with Sarah?
Feeding the ducks.
Ah. Why?
Because they're hungry. But
Mr. Leeds, James, Jimbo, we don't fornicate with the students. We just screw them over. If you ever get the two confused, you're gone.
I wasn't trying to screw her over. I was just trying to... Give me another, Cheryl.
No, not me.
Good. Go ahead. Who's your favorite person, Glenn? Twisted Sister?
A rap group?
Okay. Try saying it then. Twisted Sister. Courage, Glenn. It takes courage. Just give me a sound. Good. Go ahead. Johnny, who's your favorite person? Princess Di? Then Terminator? Nah, you kids go ahead. I'll clean up this mess here. You just run along and play. Just give me that eraser. Give me that eraser. Give me that eraser. Your mama.
I usually don't get the second visit, Mr. Leeds.
I promise. If I don't strike gold this time, I'll give up the others.
I'm not sure you will. Give up, that is. There are some people, I understand, who revel in failure.
The guy who taught the Ecuadorians to grow and love Brussels sprouts is not going to be scared off by a guilt-ridden mother.
I want you to leave my home.
Look, Mrs. Norman, I know this is difficult.
You don't know what difficult is. Teaching speech to a retarded child deaf from birth is impossible. Give up.
Retarded? Sarah's not retarded. They only thought she was until she was 12.
Well, first they said she was, and they said she wasn't. What are they saying now?
That she's only deaf.
Only deaf.
She's capable of learning anything.
Well, then you teach her.
That's what I'm trying to do. Help me. Please. Tell me. Did Sarah ever try to speak?
Well, she stopped trying when it became important to her how she looked to my friends. And most of all to her sister's friends.
How she looked?
Well, yes. She looked grotesque. She was afraid people would still think she was retarded.
Like you did.
I don't know what I thought. I have stopped thinking about what I thought.
I'm sorry. Look, Mrs. Norman, you mentioned Sarah's sisters. Did they go out together with her friends? What did they do? Help me, please.
There came a time when I could no longer tolerate the two of us here in this house, trying frantically to discover things we might do together. Read, cook, sew, here, look, see, we're having a nice, normal visit. So I demanded that her sister Ruth ask her boyfriend's friends to become companions for Sarah. And we would owe them dearly in an end of life. Well, it worked. I mean, you should have seen her. Oh, these boys really liked Sarah. They treated her the same way they treated Ruth. With respect, and if you didn't know there was a problem, you'd have thought she was a perfectly normal. Well, you just can't understand. You're making me pity myself now, Mr. Leeds. It's been a long time. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't come back a third time. Please.
Hi. I left you another note. It said, please see me this afternoon. I'll bring the boxing gloves. You didn't come, so I ate the boxing gloves myself. What do I want? Okay. I want to know if you can't learn to speak, that you're not capable. Right, speech talk. You're not retarded, you know that. Since you were 12, right, but do you really believe it? What am I talking about? Okay. I want to know if your hatred of hearing people has as much to do with us as does your hatred of you. Well, it did come right out of a textbook, but I think it's still true. Did not going home for holidays, did that have anything to do with your sister's friends? The boys you would go out with? Let me help you, damn it. Why, so I can show you the joys of sex with a hearing man? You mean you and me? I don't see you making yourself available for that kind of therapy. I think that's one language you don't speak. I don't know what I'm talking about? Okay. You tell it to me right, so I will know what I'm about. So what? What am I? Nosy? Stupid? Misguided? Come on, tell me. I can take it. You have enough communication skills. They don't. They never did. They? Who's they? Hearing boys. They never tried to learn your language. No, that was too hard. Well, what else? Come on, don't stop now. Instead, you were supposed to learn how to speak. Well, you don't speak. Come on, don't stop. You don't do things you can't do well. At first, you let them have you because they would. Sex was something you could do just as good as hearing boys. Better. The ones who did try to communicate with you got about as far as, how are you? I am fine. It got to be so that when you went home on weekends, your sister had the boys waiting up on a waiting list. Some of them didn't even take you for a Coke first. No introductions, no conversation, just went to a dark place and... But you liked that conversation, you loved it. Better than this bullshit talk I make. No, that doesn't explain everything. No, that's not all I'm gonna find out. You live in a place I can't enter. It's out of reach. That sounds romantic. Being deaf is not the opposite of hearing. It's a silence full of sound. Really? A silence full of sound? The sound of... What's that? Your secret. No hearing person has ever gotten in to find out. No person, period.